We are going to start our next session. The Hub Stage is brought to you by Yada Energy and ABC Supply. And if you are anywhere nearby and you want to learn more about one of the largest product distributors in the construction space, you should come over and sit down, hang out with us for a little while. If you're listening on the podcast, we are live from Intersolar 2025 in San Diego, California. I'm joined by the head of renewables for ABC Supply, Mr. James Mason. James, good to see you again.
Nico, I got to shake your hand. You always
Thanks,
are
man.
sharp. So,
I appreciate it, my friend. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Can I get one of those after the show?
One of these?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll get you a neckerchief. I thought, I'm just going with the sailor style here in San Diego. And the
always sharp, my
the gold and yellow for Intersolar. Just try to get to represent. So there are ample opportunities for installers to source product, right? Anybody who has been in the industry for longer than a month probably has talked to someone at Green Tech or you name it. There's a lot of folks that would be considered competitors to you. When I first came across ABC Supply, for me it was a roofing. I worked at a roofing company. It was a roofing vendor and a roofing supplier. I'm very familiar with ABC and the fleet and the trucks and everything, and how you guys service the roofing industry. Mm-hmm. Talk about the blending that you see from the perspective of one of the largest construction product suppliers in the market, the blending between these two trades, renewable energy, in particular solar, and roofing.
Yeah, no. And once again, always good to see you. But like you mentioned, ABC, the core of our business, we've been in business for over 40 plus years, was roofing. We were started by a third generation roofer. Mm-hmm. And over the years, we've expanded to become the largest exterior and interior building products distributor. And so the convergence of roofing and solar, if I can go back a little bit, probably give me a little rope here, around 2017. Okay. With the a solar mandate. It started out from Title 24 out in California about cool products, and then it morphed into, I think it was subsection 6, Part A, where any new building over 2 stories in California had to have some type of photovoltaic system. Right. So that was the first time I saw the convergence of roofing and solar coming together. And if you think about what ABC does and all the different verticals, right? We're already doing roofing, siding, windows, gutter, interior, drywall. It would make sense. Well, what does solar go? Yeah. On the roof, right? Sure. We were just there putting the roof. So there's that natural convergence. So that's kind of how that integration sort of happens. And as it's just a natural progression to develop another vertical where you can combine roofing and solar into renewable energy.
How do you talk to the roofing side of the business about the solar opportunity that you see?
Yeah, that's always a interesting topic. So within ABC and within roofing, one of the things that's always happened is that industry, when new developments and new products come out, kind of move in tandem. For example, back 50 years ago, it was EPDM, and then it moved to built-up roofing, and then it moved to single-ply roofing, and then it moved to coatings, and so on and so on. And so having those conversations are kind of ingrained within our company. So talking to roofing contractors now about what's on the horizon with renewables and solar was just the next step. And it's mainstream right now. It's the hot thing. It's sexy right now. And so having those conversations are easy because people want to know, hey, how do I get into that? How can I be a part of that? And a lot of the roofers already see it because some of these guys are doing the work, the substrates.
They're flashing the boots on.
They're already doing it. So it's not like they don't see it, but some people don't see an opportunity of how they get in, or maybe they had some misconceptions about, I have to be, I have to have an electrical license. I have to have a degree in some type of, technology to do it. And just having those conversations and exposing them to the education and the tools and the support that we provide is kind of a segue of how we talk to the roofers and how we're getting them into solar.
So I know that you've done a great job of bringing in solar experts into ABC to help you in the renewable energy side. But can you talk a bit about the education and support that you do provide? What do you find that the roofers most often need in the form of training and education to be able to add renewables add solar as a product offering?
Right. So, there's different levels of contractors, as you may know.
Sure.
Some are a little more technology savvy than others, and those are a little more interested because they can kind of see it. And you have the ones that don't kind of believe that maybe that's not for me.
Yeah.
So once again, kind of ingrained in our history is just the partnerships that we have between our contractors and then our vendor partners.
Okay.
Right? Because from the exterior building product side, our focus is to help the customer grow their business, right?
Yeah.
To make it easy. And in order to do that, you have to have the support. So I don't necessarily have to be the experts, but the manufacturers for the product that I distribute are, right? These are the people that write the tech manuals. They have the specs. They know how to help people install. So when we put together educational sessions, that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
We will go into a market and we will reach out to our contractors. And so sometimes it's at the branch, sometimes it's at a hotel, and then we get the vendor partners in that area, and we do, just a high level overview.
Yeah.
So as an intro to get people that are interested, it's kind of like casting that.
So there's a lot of hands on.
That's the only way that you can do it.
Yeah. You mentioned branch. Can you remind me how many branches? Like how are you guys distributed across the U.S.?
Okay. So we have over 1,000 branches when we look at ABC Supply, and then our sister company L&W, and then ABC Canada.
Yep.
So we are kind of organized in 5 different regions with about 38 districts, and like I said, about 1,000 branches.
That's amazing. 1,000 branches.
Yes.
That is a lot of location. You mentioned that you are orienting towards growth for your partners. One of the conversations that we've had offline is around this concept of 5 disciplines of growth. I wonder if you have, if you'd like to teach folks on the podcast about what that looks like.
Yeah, I don't know if teaching people. I could probably highlight some.
Just talk about some of the the disciplines around the growth that you try to help both your team and your customers. And
I do. Listen, I am a subscriber to the disciplines of growth, and I like how they're written because they're pretty simple. But one of the first ones is keep the growth that you already have, right? And there's been numerous studies that talk about sometimes you're going out and you're trying to procure different customers and go do different things, and you ignore the customers that you do have, right? You don't even have all of their wallet share. You don't have a full grasp and understanding of all of the issues that they have, and sometimes just focusing on that alone can spur some growth, right? And then that leads to discipline number 2. You can go and try to take it away from the competition, but that's usually a battle, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be knockout, drag out fight. But you can do that, and sometimes you have to. Rule number 3 or the discipline number 3. You can show up to where the growth is going to be, and I'm going to stop right there so I can let you jump in because. That's a good segue when we talked about, why would a roofing contractor want to get into solar or vice versa? Why would a solar person want to get into roof? Well, that's where the growth is.
Yeah, well,
right?
actually,
this is happening.
Well, this is something that I think it's really interesting that ABC brings to the table that practically no other distributor I've had a chance to chat with really can sort of illuminate, so to speak, is going where the growth is going to be. A lot of roofers want to get into solar, but what I've heard from you is that there's a distinct opportunity for solar installers to move into roofing. Help me understand that paradigm, because it's not intuitive to me that a solar installer is going to sort of pick up the trade of roofing, and it feels like it maybe is stepping on the toes of some of your existing customer base. How do you navigate those waters?
Well, listen, I know we have talked in previous interviews about the train station analogy, right? And that's how I see ABC, right? We're the train station.
Yep.
right? I'm going to get you to the train station, and we're going to get you on the right train and get you on the right track.
Right.
And so that door goes both ways because it's not something that ABC has done. It's what the market has asked for because prior to kind of roofing coming in, the solar guys were doing the roofing. And, you know, some of the results were kind of mixed. Some of them were good, some of them not so good. And then some of them said, hey, let me partner with a roofer. And then some of them said, oh, let me bring in a house and do it myself. Yeah. But as this convergence kind of happens, it's a natural progression. If I'm a solar contractor and I'm like, well, hey, maybe I can learn to do roofing. Yep. Oh, I can help you do that. And vice versa. A roofing guy could be like, hey, I'm doing the roof. Maybe I want to do solar.
Sure.
And what I've seen just organically happen is people form joint ventures. They form partnerships. This is something that's happening in the market. And so we're just there to make it easy and to provide a solution.
Yeah. One of the disciplines of growth is follow the money as well, right? And we definitely see a lot of private equity activity rolling up. The combination of these trades, including HVAC, but in particular where trades complement one another, like roofing and solar. You just came, you're fresh off last week, San Antonio, the International Roofing Expo.
Yes, sir.
Tens of thousands of your best friends all converged on what is the RE plus of the roofing industry.
Yes.
It's even bigger. I mean, I think it's way bigger than RE plus, right?
If it's not, they're close, but that's a very, very large show. It's been around.
And tell me a little bit about what you see coming in 2025 from what you learned at IERE.
Well, you know, it's not like renewables is just sitting still and has nothing to do. You know, solar's been going, and then, you know, storage has made just a tremendous jump. I have to throw this in. I was looking at a report that just came out from the EIA, I think is that the Energy Information Agency, about kind of the forecast of what they see in 2025. And they had storage down at like 18 gigawatts.
Yeah.
And if you think about 2 years ago, that wasn't even thought about. And just give me a little rope here. If we just think $1 per watt, I mean, that's $18 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. So I just had to throw that in. But from what we're seeing at International Roofing Expo, there's another segment coming out, BIPV, building integrated photovoltaic. And I know people have heard of the Tesla roof, but this is another thing of where the market, roofing manufacturers like GAF and Certainteed are entering the game. Yeah. And they are building products that are for roofers.
Yeah.
Roofers see this. Yeah. It looks like things that they install. So it's another way. So I think that you're going to see the emergence of BIPV.
Yeah, and this BIPV is essentially replacing things like shingles for homeowners. It's like Tesla is sort of replacing the home roof in their way. GAF, Certainty, and others are introducing products that essentially become the roof.
Yes, it is. That's hence why it's building integrated photovoltaic versus building applied, BAPV, which is solar panel, right? Building applied, it's going on top of a roof. Building integrated means I can lay this stuff down. I don't actually have to get, PTO or permission to operate and never electrify it. And it is still.
And it's still a roof.
It's a roof.
Yeah, you said it's a roofing product with a solar component.
That's what and so therein lies the difference because, AKA, the slang term solar shingles, if people don't want to say BIPV, they look and they lay just like shingles, except that they're solar cells.
Is there any, how does the warranty change or the customer experience?
That's going to be seamless, right? The warranty it's still a 30-year roof, and that's what we do from the roofing side. Yeah, speaking that warranty, most shingles are a lifetime or 30-year roof. That doesn't change, and it looks about the same. So, seamless to the customers.
Yeah. Do you find that the traditional solar distributors are have as seamless a process for integrating these kinds of roofing products with a solar component? Where does ABC have the leg up in that regard?
Well, I think where we have the leg up is we're agnostic, right? I'm a distributor, I know my lane.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I distribute products, right? I don't choose. I don't pick. I distribute the products.
Yep.
Basic Econ 101, supply and demand.
Yep.
What people are asking for, that's what we're going to do. Get it to the right place, the right time, at a competitive price,
Yes.
right? So our leg up is, one, we've been doing this for over 40 years.
Yeah.
Two, we are the largest exterior and interior, so we're used to operating in multiple verticals.
Sure.
So, and we have the infrastructure and the capacity to do it. Location, size, and scale. I don't have to go build anything. I just add products to have one of the largest fleets, right? Taking the burden of having to load, right? I can put it on the roof. There's just different value propositions that we bring. I think that gives us the leg up in that aspect.
I would imagine you also have a long-standing relationship with these roofing manufacturers, GAF, Certainty. Just two examples, John Span.
40 plus years, right?
Yeah.
We've been
the
doing
volume.
The volume. We've been doing business together a very long time, and so it's good to see.
It's a natural fit.
Yeah, and it's good to see that they see the convergence and they're starting to come out with these products. And just think 5 to 10 years from now, all right, the innovation is not going to stop. So, as more roofing manufacturers or traditional roofing manufacturers get into this game, I think it's good for the entire market.
And you feel like this product is here to stay. I mean, when I first got in the game in 2006, I think it was Certainty, if I'm not mistaken, had the Apollo module, right? It's like the category of BIPV has been around for longer than you and I have been in the renewable sector. Why is it now here to stay?
I would say, one, timing, and two, the technology. I've personally been to the plants.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I know, in particular, GAF Energy holds all the patents for what they built. And this is a company that's been around, like I said, a very long time.
Yeah. The dominant,
very reputable,
global roofing.
Right. So they know what they're doing. So, yes, I do think BIPV in its current form is here to stay because it's a different product with different technology. And the timing is right.
Do you think we're going to see an emerging sort of nomenclature around the kind of contractor that services the exterior envelope of a homeowner's needs, not just a roofing contractor, not just a solar contractor? Is there any sort of emerging language around this?
Well, I'm not sure if there's a language, Nico, but I can see that that's what the market is asking for, right? A lot of the market is asking for one-stop shop, right? They want a person that can do the roofing, the solar, and provide, a wraparound warranty,
right?
And think in terms of, the building envelope. If there's companies that can do the roofing, the solar, the window, the siding, it's like, I mean, you just make yourself, you can grow your business a lot more, and it may not be for everybody, but the companies that have that capability think about that, right?
And back to the principles of growth, getting more share of wallet is one of those core principles, and being able to expand the repeatability and permissibility to have access to more of that customer's
Absolutely. If me and you have been
trust.
in business for 30 years and I come to you and I say, and you go, I got this new opportunity, you're like, well, we have that trust, right? Versus someone that calls you out of the blue and there's nothing wrong with it. Who would you go to? You're probably going to go with a person that you've been doing business with and trust for, 15, 20 years versus a person that is. So if you think in terms of that, if you ask that question, and I know you didn't, but I'm just going to imagine you did, why would you do that? Contractors out there, I'm talking to you. If you have that wallet share and you have that relationship, expand the pie.
Yep. And we see, and I was in the roofing industry before I was in the solar industry way back in 2008, 2009, or sort of as I was getting in the solar industry, James, and the commercial sector in particular, like homeowners they buy a roof once, they don't think about it. Commercial is an ongoing product. It is something that is a regular maintenance item for rooftops. There are intermediaries, consultants, et cetera. It's a much more complex sale, and access to that roof is a coveted space. And that's one of the areas where I think in particular, as we talk about the expansion into C&I, it is exceedingly difficult for a traditional solar installer to get access to the rooftop, to get past the sort of the gatekeepers of the insurance, et cetera, of that roof. Could you talk a bit about the services? So that's one of the reasons why I see ABC having an entrenched position there and being able to bring that trust relationship. But talk about how you, from your fleet, et cetera, have built your services, in particular, moving out of residential to service and the C&I market different than you see others in the building product space?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And you hit on some of the topics that really drive the issue. If you think about what goes into service a C&I building, right? It's one, the volume and the quantity, because the buildings are pretty big. And just for the purpose of this example, let's say just a 3PL, a third-party logistics building. They're not that small, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty big. Some can be large as a football field, like an Amazon or something.
Yep.
So in order to support a building like that, you have to have the infrastructure and the fleet to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's something that we've been doing for over 40 years with, like you said, partners, the roofing consultants, the different insurance agencies. So we have those relationships and we're already there. And I agree with you. I think C&I in 2025 and beyond is going to expand and explode tremendously, and we are set up to help. We've actually have done some jobs. I'm not going to say the names because I don't have any press releases to do that, but we've tested the process, and I can tell you, I watched on average, and as soon as I get the release, I'm going to shoot you the video.
Fantastic.
Of we loaded over 5 to 6 pallets of, let's just say, modules and different equipment, and we did it on average of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
From the time we took it from our truck to the time we got it up on the roof. The guys were able to work versus you receiving it at there, taking it off the truck, using whatever lifts you have. This is us with our specialized equipment, bringing it there in job lot quantities for you, dropping it off, and letting you work and install. The next day you come, we can do that. So
and siting it on the roof, which I think is a really important piece.
And that relieves a couple of things. One, the burden of cost, right? That's you paid for the material. Now you got to get it up there. And in some estimations, and once again, I can't mention the name of the company, but this company told me it was a pretty decent sized C&I company, what they spent on loading every year.
Sure.
Right? Between $500,000 and $750,000 a year in loading. And that's something that is just a part of the service that we do. If you buy from us, we will load it for you. And like I said, we have the equipment that can hit buildings 80 to 100 feet, right? So we do this, and we have been doing it for the last 40 years. So we're looking at that. We're definitely positioned to do that, and we're winning these jobs strictly because of that value proposition.
Yeah, that logistics value proposition.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to hold it. I'll bring it. I'll deliver it.
Yep.
And you, as the installer, get to do what you do best.
Yep. And I also
install.
think it's not just a time arbitrage, it's a security arbitrage, because there is a huge security risk on these sites, especially when you're looking at major retail locations where you are dropping, millions of dollars of equipment on the back lot. Often, back 10 years ago when I was doing C&I, we're building an enclosure and putting up security cameras to protect the equipment before in the interim while we can get it up on the roof.
Absolutely, you don't have to do that.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring it out when you want it. And even something more is the safety, right?
Yep.
Like I have, licensed, CCO certified people that operate this equipment, right? So we're going to do it in a very safe manner that's in compliance with OSHA and all the other laws. When you're doing it yourself, I've seen some people, how they get things to the roof. Listen, I don't wish bad on anybody, but I would not want to be the company that has an accident, and then you have an investigation. You have to deal with all those things, because those are real ramifications.
And in the C&I sector, the most accidents happen actually in transit, up and down to the roof, not on the roof. It falls from ladders most.
And that's a dangerous concept of carrying. I know you've seen us carrying. Yeah, that's not something I've seen people do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
but. There's a way now that you don't have to, right? We can get that product up there for you safely, increase your productivity and your efficiency and overall safety at the job.
Well, James, I am it's always a fun conversation, especially learning more. I was surprised to hear more that BIPV is now firmly taking root in the industry. Thank you for sharing more from the perspective of one of the largest global building products, interior and exterior distributors in the U.S., I presume, in the world. How you all are viewing, especially this pent up demand for the C&I market. Thanks for joining us here at the Hub Stage.
Nico, always good to see you, my friend.
Likewise.